matchmaker meeting for the White House card is going down right now. What do we know? Well, Ari offered something a week ago, and he said there's going to be 6 or 7 fights on the card. I was never clear when he said that if he meant the entire card has 6 or 7 fights or if he meant the main card, but this was a comment that was made. And either way, it would be something different. Okay. Then I'm confident in telling you the most confident guy that I believe is going to fight is Michael Chandler. Who's he going to fight? I think that Benoit Saint Denis is possible. I think that a rematch with Dan Hooker is possible. I think there's a chance of a quick turnaround with the BMF, but I don't know how bullish I am just because that turnaround would be so quick. But I am very confident that Chandler's going to be on there. I will tell you, Alex Pereira, if you want to know the sport's biggest stars, you've got Alex Pereira and Sean O'Malley that have been battling for the top spot for 2 years now. But from what we're told, Ilia Topuria is a massive star, particularly internationally. So now that you've got the return of Ilia Topuria, it would seem as though you would use your big star over there. It would also seem with Alex Pereira, since he's not booked, that he would be placed on that card. And I don't think we're going to see anything crazy with Alex Pereira. I don't think that we're going to get our heavyweight Alex Pereira opportunity right now. So I think that Olberg will be brought in, but there's a lot of building around that fight. Like, that is just not a hot fight. Alex Pereira has shown no interest, and Olberg has shown very little interest. So you're starting at ground zero, which in a matchmaker meeting is not usually where you would go. But I think that that's what's going to happen, or at least the Pereira part. I think that Sean O'Malley being on the card is very likely. I think Colby Covington being on the card is very likely. Colby has mentioned that he is now a middleweight. I don't know if he meant that. I mean, he'd actually said that at a wrestling event where he was a middleweight. He was taking on Luke Rockhold, the middleweight champion of the world. So I never fully knew what Colby meant, but there is talk about Colby and Bo. There's really no other talk about Bo or about Colby, so they might find one another if we're just making guesses. I think Ilia and Gaethje are likely to be your headliner. I don't think you're going to find any traction whatsoever. I don't think anybody's going to waste any effort and or energy in the direction of McGregor. And McGregor shot himself in the foot a little bit, right? And just a little bit. I mean, Conor generally does everything right. Conor makes a move. It's generally something to study and try to copy. But when Conor himself takes it back, then we can acknowledge I already got one wrong here. And Conor put out a stipulation. The stipulation was real simple. He needs to talk to Ari Emanuel. Either way, he's put out a stipulation. If we're trying to build a card and we're building a card today and I have to do something, whatever that something is, that's right. I mean, every path is that of least resistance. So I just don't think there's anything there. I don't know that there was ever anything going in that direction. Islam. What would it mean? What does it mean when you've got Mackenzie Dern, you got Valentina Shevchenko, you've got Alex Pereira, you got Khamzat Chimaev? Like, what does it mean when you've got all these champions, but these are the ones that are picked? And I won't get around. I love the interim championship. I love the BMF championship. I think it provides opportunity. I'm old enough to remember when Hulk Hogan took on the Ultimate Warrior, and it was the first time ever we had a belt versus a belt, right? The Warrior's the Intercontinental Champion. The Intercontinental Champion never challenged the Heavyweight Champion. First time ever. 2 belts, 1 poster. And I still think that's hot. And that's where I believe that Ilia and Gaethje are going to get the nod and that they are going to be your main event. There's also the unknown, which is Amanda. There's a large conversation going on that because it's the White House card and because this is part of a celebration to America that you must have an American, I'm not as bullish on that idea. There will be Americans on the card, but I'm not as bullish to that. Not to mention it sets you up for failure, right? If you're bringing in the big American for the card you run the risk that the American gets beat. It's an interesting thing, and I just default back to Noche at Sphere, which was a love letter to the Mexican fans. Our main event did not have a Mexican athlete in it, so I don't know that you have to go in that direction. I do think you're going to have Ilia versus Gaethje in your main event. And I do think if Amanda can be back, that we're going to get the surprise of Amanda versus Caleb. But when you're dealing with a surgery on the neck, it's not as simple as just being willing to compete. And that could hold up Amanda. I do think you're going to get Ilia and you're going to get Pereira on the same card. I think that's going to be exciting. I think that's going to be the news that comes out of this meeting.